Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in our Fortnite video. And today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys the best exponential settings to use as of right now. So if you are looking to improve your aim and have pinpoint accuracy, these are gonna be the settings you want to try out. They're very great for hitting your shots and as well building and editing very accurately. So make sure you guys stay tuned in the video if you guys are looking for some new exponential settings to try out. And real quick, before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. I give away 2,000 V-Bucks every single Friday. If you guys would like to participate in the next giveaway and win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on the video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Hit the notification bell, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamertag, PSN gamertag, or Epic account, and you guys will be automatically entered. If you guys would like to support them in the item shop, all you guys have to do is go down to the bottom right, click on support a creator, type in my creator code, which is Young Humor, and you guys will have me added and supported as a creator. And lastly, I'm super excited to announce my new merch. You guys can find it in the link in the description or the pinned comment if you guys are interested. Definitely get a long sleeve t-shirt or a hoodie if you guys like it. And with that being said, let's get right to the video. Alright, so I'm going to be sharing with you guys the best exponential settings to use. So going here into the sensitivities that I have that I think are the best to use for exponential as of right now. So my building sensitivity is going to be on a 1.9 with my editing on a 2.0. This is a really great sensitivity to have, and it's kind of in the middle between being fast and smooth. So if you guys like a little bit smoother building and editing, you can obviously lower this or maybe raise it depending on how it feels, but I think a 1.9 and a 2.0 is perfect for the sensitivity that I have. And then my horizontal speed is a 49% with my vertical being a 47, and this sensitivity is really great. I like having just a little bit higher of a horizontal. Some people like having a little bit higher of a vertical. I think it really comes down to personal preference, and there is pros and cons of each, but I like having a little bit more of a horizontal because it makes it easier to switch in between targets. So if you're playing like duos, trios, or squads, you're able to move to look left to right a lot quicker. And on exponential, it's a lot easier to hit longer range shots. So being able from that mid and long range, being able to switch in between targets a little bit faster, I think is crucial. And that's why I have just a slightly higher horizontal speed as opposed to vertical. But having a higher vertical is great as well. It helps you to be able to place high walls and cones a lot easier, so you're able to protect yourself from above a little bit faster. And say if someone's above you, you can maybe go for a flick shot much easier having a higher vertical sensitivity. So it really comes down to your personal preference and your play style, and I think that's really important with the sensitivity that you have, that it really matches the play style that you want. And I think the sensitivity that I share with you guys just there is a really good middle ground, and I think there's a lot of workaround with it. If you like maybe just a little bit higher or lower, you can make those adjustments. So as I said, I liked a little bit higher of a horizontal for my personal preference. I've seen a lot of pro players with higher vertical, but I like horizontal because I'm able to go in between left and right a lot faster between targets if they're mid or long range, or even close range with a shotgun. I'm able to really easily. And also when I'm building, I'm able to place walls from my left to right much faster, because when I get third partied, it's not usually from below me or above me. Most of the time it's to my left or right, and I'm able to build my walls just a little bit faster. Having that additional speed really is a big plus for me. So with the sensitivity, you're still able to build fast and in control if you want. And when it comes to building and editing, I think that's pretty much just personal preference. If you like it a little bit lower, then go lower. If you like it higher, then go higher. There really isn't a best building and editing sensitivity to use. And so when it comes to sensitivity for your aim down sights, my horizontal speed is a 13% and my vertical is also on a 13%. If you want to, you can just slightly raise or lower one of the sensitivities. If you're going to, I would probably recommend the horizontal one. So maybe like a 14% and a 13% would be good. Or if you want to have a 15% horizontal and a 13% vertical, I think that's great as well. And then my look dampening, which something you always want to have on, it's a 0.12. I think look damping time is something that I think everybody should use, whether you play at exponential or linear. It just gives you that extra control when it comes to hitting your shots. It's because a lot of times what can happen, especially on linear, not so much exponential, but especially on linear, you can overcorrect or go too far over when you're slightly adjusting, and having look dampening time on really helps out a ton in that aspect. And so having look dampening is really going to help you improve your aim from long ranges. So that's why you always want to have it on. And for this settings, I have it on 0.12, but you can have it on like 0.15, 0.17, whatever feels the best. But I would recommend having it above like a 0.8. So that way it's just not too low to the point where you don't even feel it. But I think this makes a huge difference, and I would recommend everyone to have look dampening time on if this is something that you don't currently have. So the ADS that I had was a 13%. general the rule of thumb is the lower you have, the better long range, and the higher your sensitivity, the better close range. Because if someone's really far away, you only have to move over your cursor very slightly, meaning that having a lower sensitivity is going to be better. And then when you're close range, you're going to have to move over a little bit more, meaning that a higher sensitivity would be better. So I think 13% is a good middle ground. You can adjust depending on how it feels. And then my dead zones, if you guys want to know, I have a 13%, 11%. Really comes down to your controller and how much stick drift you have. But 13%, 11% works great. I would recommend having as low dead zones as possible without any stick drift. So if you can play on like a 5% dead zone, it would be optimal. It's going to make everything feel super responsive, and you're just going to be a whole lot quicker playing on a lower dead zone as opposed to a higher one. So that's why you want to have as lower dead zones as you possibly can. But if you're having crazy stick drift, then you want to raise it accordingly. So those are pretty much all the sensitivities that I have. And also in my controller options, which I didn't show, but I am playing on the generic one, which just to me feels a lot smoother and it feels much better for aiming. So all you have to do is go into your controller options where you have all your binds, and then just switch it from your Xbox or PS4. You switch it over to the generic one. And to be honest, I feel like I'm able to hit my shots a lot better and it feels a little bit more smooth. So those are all the settings and just everything that I have for Exponential that I think is really great, and it's going to help you hit more shots, be a lot more accurate. It's going to help you build faster and build that consistency that you need to win more games. And also lastly, if you are switching from linear to exponential, one of the great ways to practice being on exponential as opposed to linear is to really focus on improving your builds and edits, like working on different high ground retakes. And the reason being, when it comes to aiming on exponential, I tend to get used to it really easily. The only thing that's a big difference is going to be building and editing, because building and also editing just feels so much different as opposed from linear to exponential. And that's really the biggest deal breaker from people who switch in between the two, just because it just feels so different. So if you are switching to exponential for the first time, or you haven't switched in a while, I would recommend highly learning different retakes and just practicing your retakes over and over again until you have them consistently, because I feel like building is a little bit or slightly more difficult on exponential as opposed to linear, just based on the way the input feels, but you can still do very, very well on exponential building and editing. So that's the first thing I would practice if you are switching from linear to exponential. But with that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. If you guys could, make sure you guys do drop a like, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. I do live stream most days on this channel at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys will get a notification when I go live on this channel. But with that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching the video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.